Welcome all you Aquarians to your April monthly reading, and I'm excited about this month. We are looking into the heart chakra and asking how can we open ourselves more to love. So we started off looking through all the chakras. In January we started at the root, and here we are into the fourth month already. And so the fourth chakra is the heart chakra. We're also starting our new solar year, moving from Pisces into Aries and beginning the 12-month journey through each of the zodiac signs. So what a great way to start our new solar year, our new zodiac year with the heart chakra. And I really felt a strong pull for our ancestors, And so I'm going to start off by pulling a card here from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards deck. And this is just going to represent what they want you to know in general for the month of April in regards to opening our hearts. So let's take a look. One more time here. And so our ancestors, creator, spirit, what would you like our Aquarians to know? All our Aquarians to know about opening the heart more. Okay, I do want to give you two here. And so your first one is Wise One. Grow within your current situation. So that's your first card there. I'm just going to put that one right here. And then you also have the Direction Guardian. Choose your path. So I love that. We'll put that one we'll put it right here. So we'll start off with the Wise One and see what message comes through on that. So it says, knuckle down, be reliable and committed, be open to wisdom and insights from the elders. The Wise One represents the wisest aspect of the goddess, the crone. In paganism and modern Wicca, the crone is the fiercest, most psychic, and most aware aspect of the goddess because she has been through many of life's challenges and overcome many setbacks. On this card, the raven in her hands represents the capacity to overcome the darker times and be reborn again and again. So she helps you to tap into wisdom to overcome whatever life throws at you. Wisdom being the information stored in your soul rather than the knowledge acquired in this lifetime, and to learn from the experience of your elders. So I love that, and I'm not going to read the extended message on there. We're going to look at the Direction Guardian here and get additional information on here. So I kind of feel like this is a message of that you've been through a lot. You have this wisdom, like this Wise One, having gone through so many things in your life. And let's find out about more clarification on that too, because in regards to this being about how you can open up more to love, it just kind of feels like with everything that you've been through, I usually say it, that it's like when you do the cost-benefit analysis and you weigh things out, you're like, you know what? I just don't want to invest energy into that because of everything I went to in the past when I opened up my heart to things. It's not like you're heartbroken. You're just kind of like, you feel like I know better. I just don't feel like I want to. And it's almost like we feel like we're smart. I mean, we are air signs after all, right, Aquarians? So it's like, I just don't think it's worth it for me to do it. So let's see what else this Direction Guardian says. It says, connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and your soul sing. Okay, this is making sense. The Direction Guardian card represents the angels of direction. And these amazing angels are the ones who come to us when we're at a crossroads and don't know which way to go. When we are unsure of what is right for us or of the bigger picture, they can help us know what is the best for all involved. So the Direction Guardian card refers to the vision of the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel, who's said to have seen an angel with 4 different faces. One was a child or cherub, one was a bull, one was a lion, and one was an eagle. And these 4 faces show that angels can appear in many guises and guide us in many different directions, but always for our highest good. The extended message for this card, which they do want me to read, says, your path isn't set in stone, and your angels and guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunities to grow and to learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So if you know that there's a decision to be made, and particularly if you are feeling indecisive, choose the path you know is going to make you light up, and choose with your heart. Heart chakra. So when I was talking before about the cost-benefit analysis, and it's not that you're heartbroken, it's just that you're like, it doesn't make you light up. It's like you went through and you had relationships, you had interaction, whether that's family, friends, romantic, work, whatever, that you're just like, you know what, it was what it was, and I enjoyed it, but in the long run, it's not making my heart sing. And this letting go of expectations of what a relationship is supposed to be, what it's supposed to look like, whether you're supposed to have one or not, letting all of that go and finding that passion within your own heart and living your passion. Then whatever happens, being open to it. Like, I have friends that are like, you really should be with someone. And I'm like, well, I really don't want to be. It's not that I'm like, no, absolutely not. I'm like, if I happen to come across someone that amazing, that's worth it to me to invest my energy into it, I will. But I have so much more that I want to do with my life and how I want to express my passion to the world, that, it's like, relationship isn't at the top of the list, at least the types of relationships I had before. And that's kind of like this energy that I'm feeling in here. And I made sure to say, all Aquarians, this isn't for me exclusively. This is for all of us, because I'm an Aquarian sun. So I know it's like, this is that feeling that's coming, that it's okay. How we can open up more to love is to let go of the expectations around what love needs to mean. Doesn't mean it has to be a relationship. You can express love to the world in your own unique way. This is how I love expressing my love and care to the world, is by providing these free readings to the public. So I love bringing messages of love from above. We're also going to pull a card here from this major arcana. What I do is I take a tarot pack each month, and I separate the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana, which we'll get to in a moment. But for the major arcana, it's like these cards. It represents the overall message that they have for you for this entire month. And this happens to be the Ancestral Path Tarot, because this is all messages from our ancestors and the Creator and Spirit. And if I didn't mention, we've got all the green representing the heart chakra, and then also the pink, which represents the higher heart chakra of our spirit. So all this beautiful energy here for our heart. So for our Aquarians, what would you like them to know? What else about their month in April regarding opening more to love? What else would you like them to know, please? Okay, that one right there. Yeah, we've got the Fool. And this is all about new beginnings. This is about a new adventure, a fresh start. And it represents our soul too. So kind of a dual message, that one is that we have this beautiful new adventure coming in regarding love in our heart. But with our soul, it's connecting to the real love that lives within us, that unconditional love, because our soul, our higher self, who we really are, is this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. So that's perfect for this. And then we're going to get into the 4 suits of the minor arcana, which the 4 suits of the minor arcana represent all the 4 different areas of our human experience here. And we're going to start off by the fire element, which is the wands in the standard tarot. In this particular deck, they call it the staves or stabs. And this is just going to represent your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion, your spiritual energy, and your energy. So it's what our ancestors, Creator Spirit, want us to know about the spiritual adventure, the energetic adventure during the month of April regarding opening up more to love. So let's take a look here. What would you like our Aquarians to know, please? Okay, that's the one. Yeah, and you have the 9 of staves, or the 9 of wands, which the 9s are like the hermit card, where it is about finding the search for our energy, for this spiritual energy from within. And it's about perseverance too, but this 9 is about finding it from within, which is what we talked about here. You're going to find that not from the outside world, but from doing this connection to your higher self, this inner look at it instead, because we haven't been finding what we've been looking for in the outside world. So this inner search is where we're finding our passion, finding what we're truly desiring. And we're going to, of course, pull an oracle card for you here from this Return of Spirit oracle. This is just what else they want us to know about this energetic adventure, our spiritual adventure, about our energies. All right, so for Aquarians, what else would you like them to know, please? Okay, that's the one right there. And you've got immunity. That's great to have these days, right? But this has a different meaning. And I'm going to read it from the book. Cheryl Lee Harnish, who's the author of this cards in this book, she presents things so beautifully in here. So the immunity card comes when we're feeling as though we're under attack. You may be experiencing disagreements or arguments. Perhaps you're feeling belittled, unworthy, or misunderstood. Whatever the case may be, there's a feeling of the need to protect yourself. Sometimes these feelings may not even involve an individual person, but are perceived from the world at large. It's important that you stay grounded at this time and not fall into old patterns of behaviors or reactions. It's an opportunity to deal with your feelings and the situation in a healthier way. You're not responsible for what others say, think, believe, or feel. I'll say that again. You are not responsible for what others say, think, believe, or feel. You do not have to own it or try to fix or change anything in an attempt to appease them. Every person on this planet is responsible for their own behavior. The immunity card offers you a layer of protection from the negative energy surrounding the situation so that you can respond and take action in a positive manner. This also helps you to see the bigger picture and how to resolve the matter in a way that ensures the highest good for all involved. And I think one of these talked about that too, about the highest good for all involved. Just as your physical body builds an immune system, energetically you are building a healthy response system to negative experiences and people. You will not be affected in the same way should this type of situation occur again in the future. You will gain a healthy form of protection on the inside and no longer need to energetically wear a shell of protection on the outside. Those around you will feel the shift in your energy as you become more accepting and open to letting others into your personal world. So yeah, this is all about the energies, right? So there's this inner energy that you're finding here, this connecting to this higher place, right? This passion inside where you don't feel like you need to protect yourself from everyone else, all these expectations and all those things that people are wanting for you. You just are, you don't even let them faze you, because on the inside, you're finding this beautiful energy when you're connecting to your higher self, that you don't have to have this defensive wall around you to protect yourself, because you have this inner immunity where you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can take off your masks, right? No, we're not going to get into political discussions on this channel, but that's like what it has. You have this mask of protection on, but now this immunity that you have on the inside, emotionally and energetically, allows you to not feel like people won't feel like you have this forest field going boom, and they don't feel like they come up to you and run into a wall. So I love that. And then we move into the next element, which is earth, and where like we just talked about the energies and your kind of your fire and your passions. We'll talk about the mind and the emotions in a moment, but this is about the outside world. The Pentacles suit, they call it the Sacred Circles in this particular tarot deck, but it's about the outside world. It's about all those other people on stage with us, how we determine our worth on the outside, and just our bodies and all that stuff outside of us. So this will be what our ancestors, creator spirit, want us to know about our physical adventure during April. So for our Aquarians, what would you like them to know, please? Okay, those two. Alrighty. So you got the 3 of sacred circles. And this is a beautiful message because this is about staying true to yourself, staying true to your authentic path, not to be pulled off into different directions by, fearing the naysayers and the people who would reject you, or fear that you'll lose the support of those others. Like it talked about, you won't worry about, you can't control what other people say, think, do, blah, blah, blah. So this is about just staying true to your heart and to your own passions and how you uniquely want to express it to the world. Yeah, because here you have the King of Sacred Circles, or the King of Pentacles. And the King, having been on this mighty path through all of the Pentacles, has learned so much through all that. One, of course, staying its authentic self, but he also learned when he tried to please people on the outside, tried to live up to all those expectations on the outside by, relationships and situations and things, how all those things fell short and felt unstable because relationships, people change or pass away, situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, or are stolen. So when he tried to define his worth and who he was by the outside, he ended up feeling that disappointment, and he ended up feeling unstable with the instability of all those things. But when he connected, he went internal and he connected to the higher realms there, he was able to have his worth rooted in the unconditional love of the creator of all things on the other side and all those beautiful beings of light and love. So it allowed him to have this solid foundation with it all. And that's like with that 3 of Pentacles, he was able to stay his authentic self and live his authentic path. So as you find this inner energy and this inner connection, it just rolls out into your physical world as well. We're also going to pull at least a card from this Clarity deck, which this is produced by this great company called Girls Gone Happy. And regardless of how we identify, we can all consider ourselves Girls Gone Happy if we want. So this is just what else the creator wants all our Aquarians to know. Wow, okay, wow, about the outside world. And it's like boom, boom, boom. So you have a topic card here. So you do have rest. So yeah, definitely, I feel like all that activity, all that trying to be everything to everyone else, it's like put it to rest. And you can rest in yourself when you have that, inside here. You don't have all this necessity to try to meet up to everyone else's desires, right? When you're not fearing being rejected because you're not doing what someone wants you to do, or losing someone's praise and support because you're not doing it. When you find everything you need within, you rest in that wonderful, place. Yeah, because you can live your dreams. So I love rest in your dreams here, which is your authentic self. It's living your dream. Yeah. the rebel. Yep, this is totally Aquarian, right? We don't like doing things by the normal rules. Those old rules don't fit anymore. We have some new things we'd like to tell everyone. It says, where are you following rules and don't care about or really believe in anymore? Yes, so that's what we were talking about here, living up to those external expectations. And then you have advisors. So again, there's like this wise ones bringing in some stuff. This says, who do you need to listen to more right now? Who do you need to listen to less right now? How can you make this happen? Yeah. So this is definitely listening to your advisors from up above and less to all those expectations and all those, like with that Three of Pentacles, the Three of Sacred Circles, listening to the people on the outside world that'll take you off your authentic path, because, and they do want me to expand on it, usually like the Three of Pentacles, I'll see like someone creating a beautiful work of art and there's someone behind them and someone in front of them. The people behind them, spirit, or like that represents the dream busters, the naysayers, the people who complain and try to poke holes in your dream. You'll never do that. You're not doing it right. Or how do you think you'll ever make money from that? Blah, 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 blah. And we know what we do with them. We put them outside our circle of friends and circle of influence, right? Because we know all about that. But it's the other person, the supporter, that can more strongly have us divert off our authentic path. Because as a child, we love to hear usually praise more than punishment. We like to get that reinforcement and reward rather than the rejection and the pain of punishment. So that individual might be like, oh, I'm so proud of you and you're doing so well and you're going to be so successful. I love how you're doing that. But have you ever thought of like doing it this way? And because we don't want them to move over to that naysayer camp, we might go and alter our course a little bit on how we do something, because we don't want to lose them and we'd rather please them a little bit. So that's what this warning is be, who do you listen less to? Both of those camps. And it's like, what? It's kind of a new, it's a new rule, right? It's the rebel rule, screw what anyone else thinks and live your life. All right, and then we're moving into the air element, which is, of course, your element, and it is the Suit of Swords, and this is our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitudes, our expectations. It's going to be the mental adventure that we have during the month of April. So for all our Aquarians, ancestors, creator spirit, what would you like them to know about their mental adventure? And this is not scary for Aquarians. This is where we live and we breathe, right? We're like, oh, the mind, that's a playground. And yeah, and you have the Three of Swords, which this is the expectations card. This represents all that stuff that we were talking about, all the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, the musts from the outside world, all those thoughts and those beliefs that we just took on for ourselves as we were growing up, and we made them our own. But this is what we're cutting away. These are the things that we're questioning, and we're able to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve us, all those things in that external world that we were trying to meet and become exhausted trying to meet and feeling restricted. And so what is keeping us restricted and keeping us from wanting to open up more to love is the fear of this conditional love. But when we open up to the unconditional love, that's where we find this in this inner search here, this beautiful freedom. And that's what kind of feels like this immunity, because when you're in this bubble of love, everything just kind of bounces off of us and it doesn't consume us. So I love that. We're also going to pull an oracle card here from the numerology deck and to see what else they would like us to know about the mental adventure. But a beautiful message of this card is that, we have this belief we can be heartbroken. But that's just for the movie, it's just for the play. We can never, our high heart, our true heart, can never be broken. It is unconditionally loved. It is powerful. It is supernatural. It is eternal. So it can never be done. But what feels like heartbreak on the stage, on this play of life that we're in, is when we go into fight or flight mode, when we fear the rejection, like we fear letting people down, right? And it's like a prick in our heart, like when someone startles us. And that's just fight or flight activating in our body. Normally what we feel when our body's in physical danger, but we have so many emotional monsters these days that our fight or flight gets triggered by emotional monsters. And so when we realize that, we understand that we cannot be heartbroken, and we question the thoughts and beliefs that create the emotional monsters. That's where a lot of our freedom comes. So all that, let's see what else they want to say about our mental adventure. Okay, yeah, they do want this one and this one. Yep, so we have forgiveness. We'll talk about that in a sec. Actually, they say talk about it now, so I will talk about it now, and then I'll turn this one over. So forgiveness, which is almost an ugly curse word, is almost as much as patience, right? Is when we have had pain, right, from this prick in our heart, this heartbreakedness, that when we feel our heart can be broken, we don't want anyone to be forgiven and let off the hook, because they shouldn't have hurt us in the first place, and there should be punishment for when someone hurts me, and I want justice. And so our little wounded child is pouting, and it wants to make sure there's recompense and some sort of, fine that is dealt out for what they did to me. I will not forgive them, not until they do everything within their power and within everything that I want them to do to be forgiven. But forgiveness is for ourselves, because we're feeling all of this inside of us. They're not feeling it. We're feeling it. It's like drinking a poison and going, aha, now you're going to get sick and you're going to feel really, really, oh my gosh, why does my stomach hurt so bad? It's inside us. It's what is festering within us. So forgiveness is for ourselves. Forgiveness is letting the wrath go. It's understanding that what the other person did, their actions, like it said, we can't control anyone's actions outside of us. Anyone, what someone says, does, whatever, feels. So we are the ones that control how we feel. We were taught that there's this this expectation of when someone does that, this is how you're supposed to feel. When someone does that, this is the story that you are supposed to put around it. But the forgiveness is questioning these thoughts and these beliefs, and in that releasing them, so that we can go, you know what they did had nothing to do about me. In every moment, it's like a 6 of cups, which is called the nostalgia card. It's the emotional card. We can go back and look at a situation, an emotion, or a memory and go, okay, every moment is either of conditional love or of unconditional love. And when I go back and look at a painful memory, I'm like, okay, so their action was not of unconditional love, and neither were mine. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be feeling this way. So I look at it and go, okay, I was in fear and in fearing losing conditional love, and they were in fear of losing conditional love. And when we go into fight or flight with this expectation, like that prick in our heart I was talking about, the blood leaves our brain and it goes to our arms and our muscles and our legs, so we can fight and run like heck and become safe again and to feel in control again. And so when that happens, when the blood rushes out of our mind, we are literally out of our minds, because our body is not wanting us to stand there and get eaten by a giant monster while we're contemplating whether I should or should not, blah, 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 right? And so there's this awareness that comes in that kind of situation, that what they were doing had nothing to do with me. They were in animal protection reaction mode, out of their minds, and I probably was too. And so, you start looking at the situation differently, going, okay, that's the only way they could act when they were in fear. This is the only way I could act when I was in fear. And now that I'm not in fear, I can look at it and I start seeing the situation differently. I start seeing them differently, and I start seeing myself differently. And so the true forgiveness comes when we realize maybe there was nothing really to be forgiven after all. You know, when a 2-year-old does something, we're like very forgiving because we know they don't know any better. Well, when we go into that fight or flight mode, we become those little 2-year-olds in our body who feel unsafe and out of control. So forgiveness comes a little more easier there. And then we have the leadership, which 8 + 1 is 9. So we come back to leading our own lives. We come back to leading our own thoughts and not being rattled around by all these expectations of the outside world, all these beliefs and thoughts that we took on from the outside world where, you know, growing up, we were told when that happens, this is what you think, and when that happens, this is how you feel. You don't have to do that anymore because this is this power that you're finding within you. You're becoming a rebel. And then we move into the final suit, which is the water element, which is cups. And like I said, these are our emotions. And so this will be just what the ancestors, the creator and spirit, would like us to know in April around our emotions. So for Aquarians, what would you like them to know, please? Okay. Boom, right off the bat. And we have the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is a very empowering card because it allows you to see what it is that you want to choose. In here, there's so many cups to choose from. And whereas before, you might have been confused because of with these expectations when you're taught, this is how you're supposed to feel in that situation, but that happens and you're like, oh, I don't want to feel that way, but then I'm supposed to. So it kind of confuses us. But when you discover this power we were talking about, this rebel that I was just talking about, this allows you to choose what emotion you want to feel, and it's very empowering. So you are discovering this beautiful, beautiful power of your emotional choices during this month as well. So that is perfect. And then the final card we're going to pull from is called the Power of Surrender cards. And this can also be about the emotional journey, but because it's the last card for this particular reading, we're going to allow it to also be a wild card. Whatever else the creator, spirit, and our ancestors want us to know about the month of April. So for our Aquarians, what's your final message for them, please? Okay, that right there. Yep. Surrender obsessive thinking. Not us, not Aquarians, not air signs. If you're obsessing about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring your clarity or even solve the problem. So ultimately, when we take all of this into consideration, yes, the block that we have that is keeping us from opening more to love has to do with some history that we have, obviously here with a lot of stuff that was going on here, but it has to do with these expectations, these beliefs that we were told before. But there is freedom that comes for us, oh rebel Aquarians, as we dig deep within and we find our power of who we really are. When we connect our worth to this unconditional love, everything else starts to unravel, and we start to learn that we can make different choices around our emotions. There's this freedom that it talked about, that we can just go with the flow of what is, because we do have everything we need right inside us. We have this powerful, powerful shield of protection within that we don't even have to protect us on the outside, because it's like a big, we're rubber and they're glue. Whatever happens bounces off of us and sticks on you, So I don't know where that came from, but there you have it. I love this for us, Aquarius. So If you do want more messages of love from above, in addition to these monthly readings, I also do weekly energy updates for each of the signs, like air signs, water signs, etc. Also full moon, new moon readings, and a variety of other videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those messages and get notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click the subscribe button, and that's going to give you access to this notification bell. When you go in there, just select the all option, and then you'll get notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things just helps support this channel and helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, those things just help the YouTube algorithm get so happy that it wants to share the videos of the channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you want even more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. All right, my fellow Aquarians, so excited for this month coming up for us, and please know as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing month. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you hang in there and you take care.